Well, hi everybody. How are you today? Becky Rainey here, and I am going to talk to you today about the law of the harvest. And there's this really great book called The Seven Laws of the Harvest by John W. Lawrence. And I've been really bothered lately by a couple things, and it's really hard to explain. I think we get, when you start building a business, you kind of get discouraged or you start comparing yourself to others, or you get put down by others or something like that. And when you start to think about, what does it take to keep working and working and working to actually achieve something and get to somewhere, to accomplish something. And when I was reading this book, The Seven Laws of Harvest, I was looking at my garden and looking at this lavender plant. This lavender, I don't know if you can see it. It's really quite something. The flowers are just itsy bitsy and it smells amazing. Um, and to think about the essential oils actually come from the flower. Look at how little those flowers are. And putting this together, as the plant starts to age and the flowers die off, excuse me, a tickle in my throat. You can see that the flowers turn into seeds, and look at how many there are. This plant had tons and tons of flowers on it, and from one seed. And so, when you're looking at planting the seed in the ground, you plant this little seed. If I can show you here, one little seed. Look how little that seed is, and you plant it in the ground. And then it takes some caring, right? It takes some sunshine, it takes the right kind of dirt, a lot of watering, and then eventually it will start to grow. It may take some time, like a month. I don't know how long it takes for this to germinate, but it could take some time. And we all know that, right? And, so when you look at this and compare this with your business as far as going through and planting the seed and watering it, you're looking at finding new prospects and nurturing them and talking to them and working with them. You water them and keep working towards really supporting them and helping them grow and learn and to become this beautiful flower that starts to bloom. And the difference that it's making for other people was because you planted this seed. And I just really think that's just incredible. God is just incredible to think about that. Um, some of the laws of the harvest that they talk about in the book are discouragement. And when maybe you didn't water the plant, maybe the plant decided it didn't want to grow in that spot. And there's discouragement that happens. And discouragement is the thief of actually all good things. It's the devil talking, right? Discouragement is the storm making things happen, and you can actually choose that. You choose that, or you choose to water and nurture this. And I think it's all about trusting that this will bloom. Trusting that something will come out of that seed, and knowing that that's the will and the work of God making it happen. And so I've been working quite a bit in different countries, and I get sometimes discouraged when my seed that I plant or the plant that I water doesn't want to grow or isn't working or isn't doing what it takes or isn't finding the sunshine or finding the flower. I don't know all the descriptions. Trying to find some analogies here, but it gets really discouraging. And I know that some of my leaders, they start to compare themselves to others and wonder why maybe they're not growing or doing what they could be doing. And I just want them to know that to not compare yourself to the other flower, because you could be an onion, right? You could be an onion, not a lavender, and or maybe this kind of onion. Look at this. Isn't this crazy? This is really cool. Look at all the seeds that this plant had. This is growing in my garden. I went out and pulled it. So this is an allium. This is an allium. And look at this one. This one's really kind of pretty too. Look at the different kinds of seeds that these have. We all are uniquely different. And look at you can see actually the little black seeds actually in this. Can you see? I don't know if I can the black seeds there, they kinda come out, of the pod, um, and sometimes it just takes the right way. You have to, as you're growing and learning, you need to find the right way to survive and to make yourself, valued in that space, and people can't make that happen for you. I can't make that happen. Only you can find your way and your sunshine to grow. I can try to water you and do a whole bunch of things, but it's really difficult, really, to force something when it's not meant to be in that certain area without actually cultivating and putting the right fertilizer on it and actually, and that has to come from you. And you know, blaming other people or doing other things sometimes doesn't work either, right? Because you have to just trust that you actually are going to grow and that things are going to work. It's interesting too when I start to think about people expecting, like this flower is going to grow no matter what, right? I mean, it's going to have, I mean, it's pretty dry this summer out there, and we've had a lot of dead grass out there and stuff, but this flower grew no matter what. I mean, they had hardly any water and it bloomed and did everything. And so, even just taking the nourishment and doing stuff, it still survived and still did what it needed to do. And you just need to trust that and know that that sometimes uh, stretching and reaching out in climates and times that are really tough, especially during this pandemic time, it's really tough right now to be able to find the way to grow and find really different avenues to make that happen. And I hope I'm making sense here, but some of the things that the Seven Harvest, this book talks about, is we reap in different seasons than we sow. And so, as the season is going on, you can be planting seeds, and then eventually they will come to fruition maybe when the season is different, because maybe that is going to be the time for them to come. And I think that's just really pretty incredible. Do deeds of kindness, and they will later return to you again in accordance of the law of sowing and reaping. They will come back to you like a kind. They will come in accordance of the principle of the harvest, namely at a different season from sowing. So just trusting and knowing that if you don't plant the seeds in, like onions and garlic actually you need to plant in the fall. So you plant it way before the springtime. And so having the mindset of that's what we're doing, like in India, is we're planting before the season opens, and being able to know that maybe some things won't happen until that comes together. It's really important. Also, the other thing that I wanted to point out is the discipline. Like the discipline that this plant has, the code, the genetics for this to be what it is, and to grow a little bit every day, grow a little bit every day, grow a little bit every day. That's like a discipline. What are your daily habits? What are your daily habits to happen every day to grow a little bit? And sometimes we will put and plug in our phone charger every day for it to be charged up. So, what are you doing to charge up yourself to continue growing every day and to have the energy and the mind and the wherewithal to make that happen? So, yeah, there's a lot to be said around that. I think that's pretty cool. So, discipline produces character, which produces fruitfulness. So, looking at your habits and your healthy habits that you're doing every day that are mindful, like the 15 minutes that we talked about yesterday, is being able to build 15-minute blocks so that that way you can feel like you're growing just a little bit every day and making that happen. One more thing I wanted to point out was in Reap What We Sow. I had all these things pointed out here. Let me find it here. Reaping a different season. And here, I have all these post-it notes. It's making it confusing. Um, anyway, the last thing I wanted to talk about, I remember now, is okay, the plant is ready to be harvested. Things are happening, things are looking good. But notice, I planted one seed and this made many seeds. And this is the thing you want to count on, is all these seeds need to be nourished now. All these seeds need to be followed up, watered, cared for, stored properly, put in the right soil, and nurtured again. So Look at all these different seeds that you have from one seed, all these different seeds that come up. So the law of the harvest is not just this one plant and the flower that you get, it's the additional seeds you get for the next season. So I hope this was helpful for you, you guys. Think about it. Think about all the seeds that you're planting right now and how it's going to come to fruition. Just keep watering, keep planting, keep watering, nourishing, and avoid all the negativity around the discouragement because that's the devil talking. It's the mindset that you want to focus on. It's kind of like that movie, um, Karate Kid, where Miyagi goes wax on, wax on, and he had the Karate Kid guy repaint his fence, and the kid's going, "You just wanted me to paint the fence," and you know what? Yeah, he got the fence painted, but by the time the kid got done doing that, he knew how to wash on, wash off. And so all of these things that we're working towards today and tomorrow and the next day with these little 15-minute habits you're putting together, it's like watering the plant and nourishing it every day. The law of the harvest will provide. And so it may seem boring, it may seem like it's something that's not going to come together, but trust the process and it will happen, you guys. So God bless everybody, all in on oils. And I hope that you have a beautiful day and keep watering. You're doing a great job, okay?